Buddy, all right, buckle up. We sound good. So the housing situation, it's not cool. And I don't think it's going to get much better. But you know what? We're going to have a good talk today. If you're new here, welcome. We're going to get deep. We're going to get real deep. We're going to have some fun. This first clip is basically how I feel every single year. This is really going to set the tone. And we're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk about it. Just talk about it.
Did you receive our letter regarding the change in your rent?
This I don't know.
It's being raised to $20,000 a month.
No. This is too much. 8,500. This is all we'll give you.
No, sir, this isn't negotiable. We can get our
All
price.
right. 10,000. That's all. We both go home happy.
I'm sorry. We can't settle for less.
Okay, no deal. You come back when you want to talk deal.
Sir, you don't understand.
Go. What you still here for? You like me? I have girlfriend. Go.
How long is...
That's kind of how it feels, though. You're like, no. You're like, I can't. But then it's like, you have to. Anyways, that movie is called The Zohan. It's an Adam Sandler movie. I haven't seen it. It's fucking hilarious. It's stupid, but it's funny. Anyways, let's really get deep here. This guy, we're going to talk about it.
How long is this going to go on post-COVID? I'm uneducated. Somebody help me. Like, this house, this is in a suburb of Pittsburgh. $270,000 for 1,000 square foot. That is an apartment, okay? That is a wall-to-wall. You could damn near touch it. No disrespect. But you're asking a Fed, so $1,776 for a mortgage. You're asking a young family to pay, after everything's said and done, well over $2,000 on a 30-year mortgage to live in this tiny home. How are realtors making money? Like, how long is this going to go on?
Honestly, when I first saw that, I was like, that's a pretty good deal. You know, where I live in South Florida, like, my town home, where you don't even own a yard, is over $300K. Now, granted, I do have a lake view. It's pretty nice. And I do live basically hood adjacent, so that's kind of nice. You know, cheap gas, liquor stores everywhere, trash on the side of the road. It's pretty nice. I don't want to lie. People sleeping around, homeless guys on the corner. I don't want to brag, but it's kind of luxury. I'm just kidding. But, like, this is kind of not far off. This is Cali, terrible example, but this is like a 3-bedroom, $1,000,000, basically. But this, where I live, you're looking at 500, 600, 750,000. Not $7,000 a month for rent. No big deal. No big deal. And, but what I've noticed, though, is I don't think it's stopping. To answer that guy's question, here's why I don't think that the housing market's going to crash. Or maybe it might go down, but I don't think it is. Like, the fact that right here, San Francisco approved $700 a month sleeping pods in a former bank. Look at this. This is literally nap pods. I don't know if you've seen the movie Internship, where it's like they're in these little nap pods. It's a great movie. But dude, look at this. $700 a month to sleep in this like bunk bed style kind of, this is your thing. $700 a month right here. Do you imagine? I'd rather sleep in a car at that point. Actually, it could be kind of fun. Kind of feel like a slumber party. You know, you got like the guy right next door. You're like peeking through the curtain. You're like, hey, Rick, psst, you sleeping? He's like, shh. Then your neighbor on the other side's like, shut up. You know, like kicking your wall and shit. Could be kind of fun, actually. But the fact that these are popping up just shows me that I don't think it's going down. And it gets better, though. And by better, I mean worse. It's kind of laughable. Right here, this is what they're doing in Tampa. But this right here goes to show me that I don't think things are going down. Maybe I'm tripping, but we got a lot to unpack here. Mind-boggling stuff.
Tampa, Florida is allowing homeowners to build a rental house in their own backyard called accessory dwelling units, or ADUs. Tampa needs 26,000 more affordable housing units, and they're loosening up restrictive guidelines to allow homeowners to build these ADUs. Here's the best part. Homeowners can now live in either the ADU or the main house because you're going to get more rent for the main house, right? Because it's bigger. Plus, they're allowing more neighborhoods to build ADUs in Tampa. And with these changes, Tampa hopes ADUs will provide much needed affordable housing. And keep in mind, this is going to make your property value go up, which means higher property taxes. So my suggestion is freeze the property taxes for the next 10 years for anyone that builds an ADU, and this will incentivize more people to do it.
Remember, kid.
the fact that this is like the conversation, you know what I mean? Like, it's, and then you feel like if you don't, I think it's all on purpose. Right here, this is kind of gonna, we're gonna get real conspiracy here. We're going down the rabbit hole.
Kids, the next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would.
One person's rent is another person's income.
Do you think we're in a state of emergency when it comes to housing?
I think what we've got, no, I don't.
When he said one person's rent is another person's income, it kind of like, we're going to get there. This whole video is going to be basically that, where it's almost forcing everybody to become a landlord, whether it's in your own house or you're renting out your backyard, or you're renting out your Astro van on the side of the house for somebody sleeping. You get what I mean? Or having somebody park their RV in your backyard. It's almost like we're all forcing, even here where I live, I have a 3-bedroom. For a while, I rented out both my rooms. I was like, I wanted to focus on my own business so much. I rented out my own bedroom and slept on my own couch. I know. It was like, but I was like, if I get that, I'll get $1,400 a month. I don't have to, but that's kind of on a mass scale here. Anyways, this is in Ireland. It goes, more than 70% of young people are considering immigration for better quality of life. Yeah, sounds like America. Everyone's basically a landlord now. Sounds like America. Irish people leaving home 3 years later than they did a decade ago. Okay, that's standard. Cost of living forcing young people to flee Dublin. Sounds like America or a lot of Western countries. Vast majority of young people are thinking of leaving Ireland. Sounds familiar. Rents have increased by over 82% since 2010. Unreal.
Tough real estate market has led to historic trends among first-time home buyers. A national survey from the National Association of Realtors found the median age of first-time buyers climbed to a record of 38 years old.
It makes sense because nobody can afford it. I'm 35 and I inherited my house when my mother passed away. So I still haven't actually bought a house. I don't know. But that's like standard, that sounds about right. But you know what people can afford? You could still afford a simple breakfast sandwich. That's why today's video is sponsored by Makebs, Bagels, and Deli. If you're in the South Florida area in West Palm Beach, Royal Palm Beach, Makebs is my local spot. I'm there on a daily basis. They make everything in-house. They have real food. And they're offering 50% off if you mention my name when you go in. They do serve lunch food as well, but my favorite is their breakfast sandwiches. Unreal. Support local. It's a family-owned business, and they serve real food, real eggs. If you're in the West Palm Beach area, the one right across the street from the Taco Bell on Military and Okeechobee, that's my local spot. Ignore all the fast food places. Get some real stuff for the same price. Maybe a little more. Not really. Mention my name, 50% off. You could also use their app. If you don't feel like waiting, they don't have a drive-thru, but you could pre-order your food, waltz on in, tell them your name, pick it up. And they got great food, man. They really do. I've been going there for like 10 years. But anyways, they also offer catering, if you're interested in that, to businesses around the town. And, just support local. It's something we can still afford. Anyways, back to everybody being landlords. This is really funny. It's my boy Michael Bordenaro. This is crazy. Like, this is something where they're incentivizing you to rent out your room in order to get approved to buy a house. This is actually kind of alarming. And this dude used to be is a real estate agent, so he knows the inside scoops.
It's going back to this new FHA underwriting guideline. So what they're saying this is going to do is they say it recognizes that rental income received from individuals renting space in borrowers' homes is a stable and viable source of income that increases housing affordability and allows borrowers to better manage housing costs. So does anybody out there think it's a good idea that somebody should be able to buy a house based on not only what their income is, but what they can potentially rent out one of their bedrooms for as well? Does that sound like a good idea? That you need to have a roommate essentially to afford that house, because they're qualifying your income based on as if you had that roommate. Because if you don't have that roommate, then obviously you won't be able to afford the house. Does anybody think that this situation is going to end well?
I mean, it's already not ending well. He's got a good point. People already need to have roommates. So that does make sense. And honestly, if that allows me to go buy a house a little bit easier, I'm not exactly mad at it. I don't think it's the best option. But it's kind of trippy. But here's what I mean by like you're almost forced to have a roommate, right? This guy right here basically speaks for everybody in America, unless you live in a real rural town. But even there, I've been searching places like Tennessee, Michigan, even those places. That's a little absurd. But right here, this is what I mean by forced roommate situation.
Literally this. How is every apartment complex somehow a luxury apartment? I just got my rent increase for this year, and it's almost $200. Obviously, I can't afford that, and I'm going to have to move. But what
He goes, obviously, by my mustache, I can't afford it. It's like, we didn't know that until now. But most people, like, I get it. I do get it.
when I look at the map, there's nothing in the county that I live in, and anything in the surrounding areas. And what, you want me to live in buttfuck so then I have to commute 1,000,000 miles? And that's what we're forcing young people to do. So when we say we need to increase the housing stock, we mean it. New Jersey is going to reach build out by 2050. That means no more buildable land. So that means we have to build up. We have to allow more ADUs. And I know some people are freaking out about that. But we have the capacity here in New Jersey.
Say it's not just Florida. This is like everywhere. The ADU situation. The dwelling on the side of the house. Or in the backyard. The tiny home behind your home. But then, like, how feasible is that? That's what I mean. That's why I mean by the roommate situation. We're going to get there.
Literally a little metropolis. They can build 6 stories.
Your rent will continue to go up, while your mortgage may stay the same. Property taxes and insurance will always fluctuate, but that mortgage will stay the same, and your rent will always keep going up. Think about that.
She's lying. She's lying. It just always goes up. Mortgage and rent. Unless you own your house and you could just not have insurance, it goes up. The property taxes aren't going down. Not to my knowledge. I have a mortgage. In the past 5 years, it's going up $750 per month, every month. So, granted, I'm still paying a little less than if I were to a rent, but still, think about that. And I get pissed every year. I go, son of a bitch. And then I break something. I move on. I go, I got to make more money. You know what I mean? Or I got to rent out my room. Not really. I don't have to do that anymore. But I would if I had to. But here's the crazy thing, right? About the rooms for rent. About 10 years ago, I was looking for rooms for rent for my dad. Now look at, and there was like nowhere. You had to just go on Craigslist, basically. Now there's websites galore. Look at this. Roommates.com. Roomster. Roomies.com. Hold on. Spareroom.com. I'm blown away by this, but at the same time, it does make sense. But it's all ages. Here, I'll just click on one of these. Roomster. Citru. Best roommate finder in West Palm Beach. Diggs. No. Look at how many of these there are. I know I covered this in one of the last housing videos, but I'm blown away. We're going to Roomies here. But check this out. Speaking of, oh, your mortgage isn't going up. Hey, it's all going up, baby. And it's all good. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to make it seem like this is all terrible. I'm just saying this is kind of, it's mind-boggling. But right here, Danielle, she's 69 years old. She's a retired professional artist and hat maker. $850 a month to live with her. But check this out, though. Hold on. This is a boosted post. Check this out. 49 years old, Michelle. She's a chef and a mom of a mom to older and one younger child. She's 420 friendly. Sounds like you're living with her and her kids for $1,500 a month. Let that soak in for a second. Hold on, it gets better. Heidi and Rhonda, 59 and 73. You can go move in with the Golden Girls for $1,200 a month. That actually sounds kind of fun. But think about that. $1,200 a month. And remember the nap pot in the beginning with your neighbor, Little Rick. Okay? And Sharon on the right. Yeah. Heidi and Rhonda. Okay? This is where it's at, though. And it's all ages, dude. It doesn't stop. Okay, we got another one here. 1,300. Looks like it's a back unit at a house. We got Dan. Check it out. Dan, 30 years old. He's a bartender serving. He's looking for a clean and quiet person, preferably a lady with nice tits and a great ass. $1,000 a month to go live with Dan. All right. He's 30. It's all ages, dude. It doesn't stop. Kiana Stone, 23, 800. Okay. You can go live with Tracy. She's 56. She looks fun. Look at her. $1,000. The point is it's literally like this. It's forcing people to make rent the income. And also they can't afford it anymore. And I get it. I live with me and my lady live together. We divvy it up. We work together. So look at this. You could go live with Jay for only $400 a month. Jay, I'm coming over, Big Daddy. I'm moving in with Jay. Look at him. What's up? Not to make light, but it keeps going. 31, 21, 23 years old. It doesn't stop. And I think this is kind of, wow, dude, 113,000 listings. And that's just, I mean, that might be all over the place. But it keeps going. Here's another one, Roomster. Hold on, I'm just so curious about this. It's kind of mind-boggling. Because back when I was on 61 rooms for rent in West Palm Beach, 46 years old, renting out their room, 1,100. It's just baffling. 31. Top floor, though. Boom, top floor. 1,300 to go live with Lachelle, 31. She's a Capricorn, too. She's got her sign there. No, I'm just kidding. I think that's just a female sign. Carrie, 34, 900 a month. I mean, that's just where it's at, dude. I mean, this used to be where you could 1,500 to go live with Brooke. She looks like a cool girl. Spacious, private patio. The room comes with a dresser, nightstand, and a queen mattress. You can live like a king and sleep on a queen. 1,500 a month. I mean, you would think you'd get your own place for that. It keeps going. Darlon, 30 years old. Elvis, I live with Elvis, the king, 47, $850. I don't know how long this goes on for. This just keeps going, dude. Anyways, you guys leave your thoughts. I'm not quite sure what to do. And I appreciate everybody that bought a shirt, RLP Classic. I'll leave the link below. I'm just tripped out by it, dude. I can't believe it. Just keeps going. The party doesn't stop. And I don't know what the answer is. I do know what the answer is. Rent out your room. Rent a room. That's it. Just rent a room. Sleep in a nap pod. We got to do a whole video on van life. I'm due for one of those because that's your other option. Anyways, or you just move to Nantucket. No, I'm just kidding. That's expensive. Brazil, Ecuador, Yugoslavia, Peru. Oh, also, that leather jacket I gave away, I did pick somebody, Zach. I forget your last name, but I already shipped it out. So everybody that's been DMing me on Instagram, jacket's gone, Big Daddies. Anyways, solid talk. I'm done looking at rooms for rent today, but it's kind of mind-boggling stuff. It really is. I wish this existed 10 years ago. Would have made my life easy.